Hey guys, today is May 11th, a Friday. I just thought I'd hop in for an update. Mainly just been laying on the couch today, still a little dizzy from the Botox that I had. But I'm not sure if you can see it here or not, but I guess I've gotten really yellow. My bruise is really starting to come out on my forehead. My ex-husband came to pick up the kids, and he's like, "Oh, you're really bruised on your forehead." So guess you can see it. I don't know. I'd rather not look in the mirror and find out. So, just to let you know that I will be putting a music video up. It's got some pictures of my family in it, and living with fibromyalgia, and I put in some feelings that I have and things that I feel like I've missed out maybe on and stuff like that. So look for that. I'm just about done with it. But yeah, I'm still a little dizzy today, but hey, I'm getting better. So hopefully by Mother's Day I'll be doing good. I just want to talk today, I guess, a little bit about the fibromyalgia. A lot of people say, well, I should say some doctors say that, sometimes it takes a stressful situation or tragedy or maybe an illness that causes your fibromyalgia to come out. So I want to talk a little bit about that. I'm not sure exactly when I had fibromyalgia. If I had to guess, I would say that I had it even as a kid. I was just never diagnosed until about 6 years ago. And the reason that I say that is I can always remember getting hurt as a kid and it hurting so bad. And my mom and dad would be like, it shouldn't hurt that bad, people would start to think that I was a hypochondriac, or, like I needed all this attention from pain, and it really hurt. It killed. I'd stub my toe and it hurt so bad. Or I'd fall off my bike, and how you tell your kids, oh, it's not that bad, go out and play. Yeah, it was bad, it hurt. So, when I was 3 years old, I was dropped on my head. I had a hairline fracture of the skull. Yay me, third birthday. I remember my birthday party. I remember up to a certain point where my uncles, who only like 3 and 6 years older than me, had taken me down in the basement, and they were skating down on the concrete, and I got dropped. So yeah, hairline fracture of the skull and concussion and all of that at 3 years old. That possibly has a lot to do with my migraines and my fibromyalgia. I will say I was really thankful. The story that goes along with that is, to me, incredible. I may have some people that follow and watch this that aren't Christians, but I just want to give you a little story about when I was dropped on my head. They had taken me to the hospital. It was down in Cincinnati, Ohio. They took me to one of the Mercy hospitals, and they had the x-rays that showed I had this hairline fracture of the skull. And finally I was released, and my parents brought me back up here. I live north of Dayton, Ohio. And they took me in front of the church, and they had me prayed for. And I had to go back down for a checkup, and did another x-ray, make sure everything was healing okay. Excuse me. I'm very tired today. So they wanted to make sure everything was healing good, and they couldn't find any sign that I had ever had the skull fracture, but yet they had this other x-ray that was obviously my head, where it showed that I had it. So that's a miracle. I should have had, at the point where they took me down and had x-rays, when you have a fracture, you get more blood in that area so that it can heal, and you can always tell where that break was at. Well, I didn't have that. They couldn't see the break. So to me, that's pretty cool. I don't know if it has anything to do, the fracture hasn't anything to do with nowadays about the fibromyalgia, but possibly could, but I really feel that I was healed by God from that. Then I had some rough experiences as a child. I'm not going to go into one here, but it was pretty difficult. And then as I got older, I had a divorce. plus the chronic migraines. I've had them since I was 7 years old. But I was diagnosed while I was going through my divorce. So that probably had a huge thing of, it finally coming to surface and getting diagnosed. Because I went through depression and everything else. It was a pretty bad divorce, which thankfully we can talk now, and, not so bad for the kids, but the divorce itself was pretty horrible for me. So I think that was one of the aspects of why I ended up getting diagnosed with the fibromyalgia, having it come on and everything else. But with that as well, though, with the divorce, I ended up finding my wonderful husband that I have now, who's absolutely fantastic. Yeah, we all have our moments, but he's great. He's there for me. He's never had a migraine, but he's there to do anything that I need to help me break the cycle. And I'll never forget. It's really funny. I'll let you know our story of how we ended up meeting. I moved into an apartment complex, and I kind of saw him when he was paying his rent when I went in to sign my lease. Kind of wondered who he was, but at that point, I'm going through a divorce. Don't really want anything to do with that. But they still catch your eye. So he had caught my eye. Ooh, I wonder who that is. Left it at that. Never met him. Didn't know who he was. Didn't know where he lived. Just that he lived somewhere in the apartments. And several months later, I was sitting out on my porch. The kids, I had just dropped the kids off with their dad for the weekend, and saw him come out of his apartment, and it's like, oh, that's where he lives. I had no clue this whole time. He's been my next door neighbor, like literally our walls. Like I was hearing his TV, didn't realize it was him. So there was a few times that he would leave the house. I kind of got to know his schedule, so to speak. I'm not a stalker, but hey, you could hear his door close and his TV come on, so I knew when he got home. And he'd always come home for a little bit, and then he'd run up to the store, and then he'd come back. So sometimes I'd sit out there just so I could get a little glimpse of him. But he came over and he introduced himself, and he told me that if I ever wanted to, come watch a movie or talk or whatever, just come knock on his door. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm like thinking to myself, I'm not going to come knock on some guy's door. Hey, I want to watch some TV. Like, whatever. Kind of blew it off, still kind of watched him when he come and go. Just to get a little glimpse. But, that was it. Didn't think of any more of it. So, the weekend of December 15th, I took my kids out, and it must have been really warm that year because I was sitting out on the porch, and at that time I was still freezing all the time, so I can't see sitting out there when it was freezing cold. But I was out there. It was a rough night dropping the kids off, so I was out there kind of crying, and I had this do-rag on my head, covering my head. Didn't care what I looked like. He came over and he's like, hey, you want to come over and watch a movie and share a bottle of wine? Kind of reluctant. I'm like, yeah, sure, I was having a bad night. Sure, anything to get me out of this little slump. So, went over there and didn't really watch the movie. We ended up talking the whole time. Or should I say, I ended up talking the whole time. And, crying and everything else. He had plenty of time to just say, oh, this girl's crazy. I don't want any part of this. But we've been together ever since. And so that's a little bit of how my husband and I met. He was with me right from the beginning. I'm going through this stressful divorce. I'm crying all the time over everything. Drop of a pin, I'm crying. He dealt with it. So, he, not long after that, I ended up being diagnosed with the fibromyalgia. Right before I was diagnosed with the fibromyalgia, I was actually hospitalized for a migraine that I ended up having for a month straight. And he was there at the hospital every day. He got off work, and then he'd come over, make sure I was doing okay. Took some time off work. When I first went in, the doctors originally thought I had an aneurysm, so he's the one that rushed me to the hospital. and to the emergency room, got me all set up, and he was always there for me from day one. It's been wonderful. So he's had his chance. He can't run now. That's what I like to tell him. But you know, the fibromyalgia, it doesn't just affect us. It affects our kids, our loved ones. See, I cry all the time, so forgive me. I can still cry at a drop of a pen. Emotions are still crazy. I still blame the fibromyalgia, but we'll see. I don't know. Could be just me. Yeah, everybody in your whole life is affected by it. You know, there's days I don't want touched. You know, I hurt too. Don't touch me. That affects the kids. My daughter and I love to snuggle, but there's days I can't snuggle with her because it hurts too bad. There's days I don't want anyone to touch me, my husband or nobody. So thankfully, you know, he's kind of gotten used to it. He does work nights and night, so I'm here at night by myself. But there's times, you know, when he's off and I won't touch, but yet I'll lay my head on him, you know, and I'll just kind of snuggle on my own, but yet I'm still kind of laying on him as gently as I can so that it doesn't hurt me. But today, as I was making the fibromyalgia video that I'm making, the kids came home from school and they have to watch it with me. Of course, I sat and cried because I'd sit and read all the little descriptions that I had written on there, which mean a lot to me. So when you see that, you understand it. One of the pictures I used was my son, and he goes all blurry, and you can't see him. And I put underneath there in the caption about how my life feels. I feel like I don't have any control over it. And I feel like my life has gone by without me. You know, so he's asking about it. You know, Mommy, why does my picture go blurry? So I'd explain it to him. And then I also, you know, went through the different things. And, of course, they gave me a big hug. It made me feel good. I've learned that you have to take the joys of life, the small joys in life, and just cherish them for everything. My kids came in today from school. I mean, pounding through the door, you know, they were all loud. They were all excited. And with Memorial Day, or Mother's Day being this weekend, they had made all their Mother's Day stuff at school, and they brought it home. Mom, we can't wait till Sunday. Because they're with their dad this weekend, but I get them on Sunday for Mother's Day. And they come pounding through that door. I can't wait. You've got to open it now. And I'm like, don't you want to wait so I have something to open on Mother's Day? No, you can just look at it again on Mother's Day. Like, okay. So, it was really cute. Actually, I still have all of it sitting up here. My daughter had made me a letter. Well, she drew a picture as well, but she also wrote this letter. And I absolutely loved, so I'm going to read it a little bit. These are the things I love most about my mom. She loves everything that I do. She loves me for who I am. And she loves me and my brother. She's a happy girl. I love having fun in front of her because she likes it. She knows that I can't always participate, but I love to watch her. She teaches me a lot, and she teaches me what to do. So that really meant a lot to me, because sometimes I feel like I'm not there for my kids physically. I mean, you know, emotionally and everything else I'm there, but I can't do everything that in my mind a normal mother would do. So that meant so much to see that. And then my son, he made me all kinds of stuff too. So, let me read this other card that my daughter had. She brought home a bunch of stuff for Mother's Day. It was really cool. She sent me this. She made this card. Happy Mother's Day. I love you, Mom. Dear Mom, my love for you will bloom forever. My favorite thing about you is that you raised me. My favorite time with you is snuggle time. Thanks for being my mom. You color my world. Little Bug. That's what I always call her, is Little Bug. So that's how she signed all of her cards. So, you know, can't always be there, can't always be up and active, but our snuggle time is our time. So my advice to anybody else would just be, give them your attention. You know, whether you can get up and run with them or not, give them your attention. Let them know that you love them. Tell them, oh, Mom can't do that, but you know what? Come here and give me a hug. Mom loves you so much. Because it means a lot to them as well. Sometimes that covers up for that stuff that you can't do. You know, that's fine with them. So you just tell them you love them. But my son made me some cards too. His one, it says Mom. And it says amazing. I can't read what it says in the middle. The O. I think it's supposed to say Ohioan Mom. Inside it says, I love you, Mom. And he gave me all these little pieces. I mean, there's tons of pieces of paper here. To read a few of them, it says, Happy Mother's Day. This coupon is good for 1 free picking up of toys. Another one, this coupon is good for 1 free room cleaning with no complaining. 1 free breakfast in bed. 1 free kiss. 1 free hug. Here's my favorite one. 1 free day of no fighting with my brothers and sisters. Oh my goodness, are you serious? No fighting at all? We'll see if he can do that one. Another one was, this coupon's good for 1 free doing of the dishes or loading the dishwasher.
What do you do every day in that stuff?
One was 1 free day of no fighting. Then he also made his own that says one week of not fighting with his sister. I'm like, yay! Let's see how much we can get that done. But he literally gave me like tons. There's like more than 30 of these here, and so that was pretty exciting. I mean, he was so excited to see it. And then he also wrote me a poem. See if I can find it real quick, and then I'll let you guys go. And it was kind of a lengthy vlog today, but it's been a good day. Alright, his said, "You are out of this world. Can you come back and be my mom?" He made a little spaceship. Here, and that's the poem that he wrote on the back of it. I thought it was really cute. He also made me another card on top of that, and it's got hearts all over it. It says, "I love you, Mom." So, anyhow, I hope everybody has a great Mother's Day and a great weekend. I'll probably be back on to do one last more vlog before Mother's Day, because tomorrow's the big day. Tomorrow is Fibromyalgia Awareness Day. And so I'll make probably a short little one. My husband's off work, so hopefully I'll get some time in there to come in. Plan on hopefully enjoying my entire day with him tomorrow. So we'll see how it goes. Thanks, everyone. I'll talk to you all later.